Hello everyone, I'm Never. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing the Submechanophobia video. On TikTok, this was a very well received video, which I didn't think it would be. I thought people are asking for it. It's a bit obscure, very specific. It's the fear of underwater man-made objects. Why would anybody, well, I mean, obviously there are people afraid of everything. I googled up some of these videos, these images. They're a bit unsettling, definitely. If I encountered these things, I'd be, I'd have a negative feeling towards it. But I didn't expect so many people to be so heavily engaged in it. Like, wow. You guys, thank you for everyone that watched the TikTok video. And just for talking about it and sharing your experiences in the comments. It was really interesting and wow. This is a very different drawing than I usually would do because I didn't try to anthropomorphize anything in this video. I think it was because seeing what the fear was and the imagery, it was so haunting that I wanted to capture that. So all we're doing here is drawing an actual plane that had crashed into, I think, a lake or a river or something. It was quite shallow actually. And this was disturbing. And I liked how it faded off sort of to the tail. I always have this, it's not a fear, it's an aversion to drawing backgrounds, because I have that thing where I got to draw trees, but then you can see through the trees. And they want to see behind the trees. What do you draw behind those trees? Then you got to draw more trees behind those trees, and they're getting smaller and they're filling up less of that gap, and it goes on infinitely. So water has a very nice escape route where water kind of cuts off light very quickly as it fades away. So you can just straight out fade to a color and you're good. It looks very watery. And this thing did that. The reference photo that I had definitely faded out to nothing. The tail end there, don't need to draw because I'm just going to be erasing it basically. And that's why that's not complete. We need to grunge up the plane a bit, a lot actually, because it's all corroded and covered in seaweed and who knows whatever gunk is on there. Having a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say struggling, but I don't draw backgrounds very often. Hardly ever. And this, jumping into this, I'm never sure if this is actually going to work or look any good at all. And I think it's actually coming together kind of okay. The wing, this is what it looks like. I don't like how it looks because it looks like it's just like slapping a wing on top of a tube. But it is what the reference photo does look like, and I just don't like how there's no visible connection to the body, but it is hidden underneath. I guess that's how it's built. But anyways, we're working here to get the fade out looking realistic and not like I'm just spray painting over top of it. We need to get the grunge also not just being black, because you don't want to darken things with a hard black, which I definitely do that anyways. But we're going with this teal, because underwater scene, it's also not blue, so we're going with the teal to give it that sort of aquatic feel, not just bathtub water, but creepy swamp water. So we need to grunge it up a lot more, get those windows in there. The outline actually switched to white because I guess I just didn't want to do the detailing of the bars, and it looks actually okay, especially when we do this to hide it all. And I don't know, this part is actually okay. I'm not going to slap eyes on it and make it look cute. Sometimes we are going to just scare you way more. I mean, I say that I'm the fear artist and I stick by that. I think I'm bringing fear more than curing it. My videos, I don't know if it's therapeutic for you, good, but I feel like I'm triggering more often than I'm helping. And that's what a lot of you are watching it for. You want to maybe be triggered or not. Because I feel if you were really phobic of these things, you wouldn't even be able to watch the video. So it's self-censoring in that way, and I do hope that no one's traumatized by my videos. And if you are, get, I guess, whatever help you need, although hopefully you don't encounter planes at the bottom of the ocean too often. And if you do, it's probably your fault. So it's easy to avoid. Really easy to avoid. I have so far encountered 0 planes on the bottom of the ocean. We're going to add one cute thing. So we're going to throw in Gerald. He's our go-to generic add-on to any kind of a scene. If we don't know what to draw, throw in a Gerald. Little octopus guy, if you don't know. I'm going to put scuba gear on him. No good reason. He doesn't need it. He's an octopus. He can breathe underwater. Why does he need the scuba tank and the goggles? Doesn't make any sense. And technically his mouth is between his eyes, so that scuba breathing part doesn't even fit properly. But whatever. I don't always use the circle helper tool for drawing Gerald because I think I can draw a decent circle. But if the focus is really heavily on Gerald, I do kind of want it to be a perfect circle. So sometimes 50% of the time I use it, sometimes not. Depends how important the Gerald is. So there, yeah, I got rid of the breathing apparatus because it didn't make any sense. Like, wasn't where his mouth is. And it's weird that his mouth is inside the goggles. But whatever. We're going for cute because we gotta have some cute. That's my brand. So you just gotta stick little Gerald in there. Even how the goggles are attached with the strap behind his head. Don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but that's what we're going to go with. He's just going to going through the ocean. The shading, I think I'm using a blue. Yeah, because again, we don't want to just shade with black because it's going to look white. So yeah, and just faded, lighten the top a bit so that it matches with the water transition because there's light filtering in from above, even though I did shade it manually there. But we want to get a bit more realistic feel to this one because we're going for the more hard realism on this drawing, which is not something I'm good at. We're going to next draw some propellers, Titanic style, gigantic propellers. I don't feel that I got the proportions on this thing correct at all, but whatever. It's supposed to look weathered, old, broken, so if it's slightly not CAD level perfect, then whatever. It's okay. I'm not submitting this to be made at a shipbuilding factory. So anyways, let's just color it in, kind of ballpark how it is. A lot of the shading for this, I'm just going to paint directly on. Usually I have a separate layer set to hard light so that I can kind of control, remove, and add the shading. But if I'm going for this kind of realism, it gets kind of difficult to control the colors that are produced by that because it's going to change it because it affects the underlying color. I don't want that for this. It's going to be too much of a pain. So we definitely want to just freely draw on top. And it's a fun experiment. I don't like it. I hate it. But it's good for me to have this practice of drawing something that doesn't have an outline. So we're not going to do the outline for this. We're just going to freehand draw it and just try to get the shapes in there, mock it in, do it on one layer even, which is very rare for me. Then it's, the details are sufficient. It doesn't need to be very perfect, very crisp, because it is in the background. It is going to be faded out with water. And we're just trying to get that general effect of the shape. Now this last one, I did have an image of a buoy with chains sort of floating down, but I am eyeballing this thing 100%. I'm not looking at a reference for this, just a memory of what I had looked at. And the top of it wasn't shaped like that. It was more of a buoy. This, I was just thinking, man, we're just going to look at some sort of landmine thing above our heads. And these chains, I'm actually really impressed with, and I don't usually say that about my own work, but how these chains came out, because I didn't know if the chains would look any good. I was just kind of like, I guess I'm going to alternate this and fatten them up as you get closer so they look like they're coming towards you. It worked really well. I'm kerfuffled and surprised. And people commented proliferously about the chains. That's what got them. And the propeller made a lot of the time. But the chains. So, yay. Thank you guys so much. Great experiment. I really love this one. Unexpected result. 100%. I did not expect people to love it so much, to connect with it so much, and just to have such visceral reactions to it. Some of the reacts that I watched were very chilling, actually, how people reacted to it. And of course, Wade, people connecting with Wade, kind of similarly to how people connected with Ellen in my Ellen video. So this video might have had already a sequel added to it, which took way longer to draw than this even. So you should check that out. There's a sequel to this video involving Wade. I'll just stick it on the end of this video so you don't go wondering where it is. It took a lot of animation, and I should probably do a separate video on that, but I didn't record the process, so I can't show you anything. It was an animation, took all day on a Saturday. It was super fun to do, and yeah, just Gerald going into the ocean, saving Wade, because everybody was desperately sad that Wade was trapped and dead on the ocean floor, and they were rooting for him, hoping that he would escape the confines of the bottom of the sea. So I had to draw an animation of Gerald swimming down to some epic soundtrack and getting back up, and lots of things animated. Also something I don't often do. It just takes a lot of time. Don't have time for it. But there we have the Submechanophobia video here for you to scream at, and also here at the end is going to be the animation that goes as a sequel. So enjoy. Your fear artist here to draw Submechanophobia. This phobia is a little bit more vaguely defined than other phobias. You know, if you're afraid of bees, you're afraid of bees. Afraid of birds, but this is the fear of man-made objects underwater. Could be any level of underwater, could be semi-submerged, flooded, completely submerged, bottom of the ocean, bottom of the lake, bottom of the puddle, not bottom of the puddle. Anyways, this is a plane that has seen better days. Gerald's just checking it out, looking for survivors. Gonna go with a no on that, especially considering there's like a literal Titanic on its head with chains holding down some buoy. But the most scary thing for any mechanophobe is at the bottom of the sea, buried in the silt, all drifting around the sea creatures, is Wade, the discarded toaster. Your fear artist here to draw aquaphobia, the fear of water itself. It can be very difficult to get through life without water because you really need it to survive. But let's assume this is more the drowning level of water, in which case going out in a boat in the middle of the ocean is probably a bad plan. This is also going to lead you into something called thalassophobia, the fear of the deep dark depths. Gerald, you gotta go into the deep dark depths to face your fear. Don't worry, you're an octopus. It's gonna be fine. Just keep going down, go down. Don't worry about what's in the deep, dark depthiness that you can't see, the pitch black. Oh, you've been here before. It's Wade. Pull! Get him out of there! He needs to be saved. Go, Gerald, go. You've got this. Gerald, you're a hero. You've saved him. There's something behind. Swim faster. Swim faster. Wade, you did it. You're a toaster. You're alive. You're a hero. Don't electrocute everybody on the beach. Thank you guys for hyping up that video so much on TikTok, and also for watching this YouTube video. And I will see you guys next phobia. Bye.